I, Lance, having been born of an incredibly amazing and loving mother. Therefore, I was taught somewhat in the realities of courage and of love, of strength, of fortitude, sacrifice, and service. Mom has a gift for writing, and that gift has inspired me and sustained me over many a rocky road. With this writing, I hope to tell her story and share her writing in a way that illustrates what motherhood, in God's grand design, is meant to be. Mom often referred to her life as a pretty garden. Of her early married life, she wrote, "We were two young kids that had a lifetime ahead of us. Our life was a rose garden, and we basked in its beauty. And then came the kids. We were a bunch of rowdy, roughhouse boys who served up equal amounts of joy and pain for a mother who only deserved our best." She wrote the following about being a mother. On December 11th, Lance was born. Oh, shout praises, weep gratitude, and burst my buttons. I was the mother of the most beautiful baby in the world. There is no joy, no love, no closeness with husband or God like that which comes with a baby. With each baby. I was blessed with that wonderful experience then, and 7 times more, each time equally miraculous, equally marvelous. Oh, thank you, God. Thank you, 8 times over. Thank you. While Mom sacrificed everything for her sons, Dad gave as little as possible. Booze and tobacco and other women often called him away. Birthdays, holidays, and most days were times when he chose to live outside of his home and away from his family. While he played, her life was an endless chain of stitches and stomach pumps, snake bite and broken bones, splints and casts, and a zillion butterfly bandages. I think sometimes she must have wondered if she was running a family or a boys' home. There was the time when Brett and I fell from a moving car while on the highway. Darn those suicide doors. I remember the day that the two of us were practicing our trick riding skills. The trick turned into trample when I ran over him with my horse. I came home one day with my front teeth knocked out. The dentist put them back in and fixed me up just fine. The next day, Brett knocked them out again. Colby took a .22 ricochet in the eye. Darren froze squirrels and snakes amongst the burger and chuck in the freezer. Then there was the day that Thad and Blake decided to stage a gunfight to scare the neighborhood kids. How could they have known that homemade 20-gauge blanks can hospitalize? All in all, not their finest hour. Mom's greatest trial came in the summer of the fire. A grease fire in the kitchen spilled over 4-year-old Blake's head and back. It burned 1/3 of his body with third-degree burns. I can still remember him standing in the yard, the blisters as big as tennis balls filled with water as she tried to cool him and comfort him. Of this day she wrote, "He ran out the door with flames licking up his back and lapping over his head. In sheer terror, I ran to rescue him, not realizing that 4 little boys were slipping and sliding through a wall of flames in the kitchen. Fortunately, the fire burned itself out, and they had only minor blisters. But oh, my little Blake, oh, dear father, my little Blake." That summer was most difficult. As he lay in his sterile tent, I ached to hold him to my heart, but all I could do was put my sterilized hand inside the tent and caress the spots that were not burned. He spent the entire summer in the hospital, and he underwent the most painful treatment. Daily his burns were scrubbed, and then medicine applied. It stung and burned. Blake would jump and scream until the perspiration beads lined his lips. Then he would fall on his face in an exhausted heap. After that, skin graft surgeries. Then it wasn't only his burn that hurt, but it was his bottom or his legs where the doctors had stolen skin to graft his burn." Unquote. Through it all, Dad was conspicuously absent. The guys and the booze and the women called him louder than we did. Finally, he pushed back and pushed us away. Of that day, she wrote, "He did. Damn him, he did. Oh, Larry, where have all the flowers gone? I don't have enough tears to water this drought. Weep all you want. Beg like a baby. Your garden is dead. Terribly sad things happen to families whose homes are broken. Children's hearts are forever broken too. No one will ever know the grief I feel for that. But like it or not, and ready or not, it set us on a path we really didn't want to travel, a path that would forever affect our lives, but travel it we must, and travel we did." Unquote. The next years were so hard for our family, but for her most of all. The sons she loved were angry and betrayed, and we acted out. Those years were filled with drugs and immorality, crime and jail, loss of faith, and a falling from the light. Her heart broke as she watched the inertia of our lives take each son and eventually place all but one behind bars. Even her happy days were tainted by the sorrow of despair, like the day she went to the mailbox and found 2 letters. One was from the prophet, and one was from the county jail. These were a mission call for one son and an arrest notice for another. These were times of no money and little hope. With hairpins and tape, she fixed our bikes and repaired our home. She taught us to play ball and build pine wood derby cars. She taught us of God, of duty, and she probably thought she was failing. And she prayed. When her sons needed to learn hard lessons, she let them pay the price. At other times, she protected her cubs like a mother bear. Through it all, she put herself through school and became a teacher so that she could provide for us. But most of all, she buoyed us up with a positive attitude, a sense of humor, her crazy version of disco dancing. And she loved us. And she saved us. She saved us, each and every one. The last words of her biography are a perfect example of her lighter side and her amazing love. This is what she wrote. "When I'm lying in my grave and all my bones are rotten, read this history, then I'll know that I am not forgotten. 'Cause my soul will be in heaven, just a-smiling down at you. You'll not be forgotten. I'll still be loving you." To the best mother a boy could hope for, Happy Mother's Day, Mom. And when Father's Day comes, I will say, Happy Father's Day, Mom. You're the best dad this boy ever had.